Good morning and welcome back to Joellen's Kitchen, where we're making Pennsylvania Dutch recipes. Now this recipe we're going to make today are called Whoopie Pies. The recipe is just a fun thing I'm told started when there was leftover cake batter and Mom got creative, or grandmom if you want to say, and threw some tablespoons of the leftover batter onto a cookie sheet, baked it, left it cool, had some leftover filling or icing as well, slapped that in the middle, put the two pieces of cookies together, and voila, Whoopie Pies. Now, there's an ongoing battle between Lancaster County and Lebanon County as to who started the Whoopie Pies. I'm from Lebanon County here in South Central Pennsylvania, and I say it started in Lebanon County. So I'm waiting for feedback, I guess would be a nice way to say. Flack maybe would be a little more controversial, but at any rate, South Central Pennsylvania, Dutch country, Whoopie Pies are famous, and you can get them in any flavor. Today we're going to make, I'm going to use dark chocolate. Did you know you could get cocoa and dark chocolate right now? You can. So I'm going to try the dark chocolate with the peanut butter filling. And you can make red velvet, you can make oatmeal, you can make pumpkin, any kind. And so we're going to do a basic Whoopie Pie but with peanut butter filling today. And we're going to start with 4 tablespoons or half of a stick of butter or margarine, and put that into our mixing bowl. And we also, of course, you know, with Pennsylvania Dutch, I was always taught half white sugar, half brown sugar. So we're going to have a half a cup of white and a half a cup of brown sugar to put in there. Of course, the brown is packed and that likes to stick in there a little bit, so I'll have to coax it along. There we go. It all comes out in one, but it's soft. It's really good. And we also need 1 large egg. There we go. And I always used to do everything by hand, but I had to make something that took a lot of beating, and I invested in this little hand beater, and so I'm going to try it out again today, and we'll see how it goes. Woo! We also have to add 1/4 cup of vegetable shortening, and we'll just pour that in now because we like the cake nice and moist, and the oil always gives that cake a moist feel and taste. Next we have 1 3/4 cups of flour. We're going to add that. And here's my 3/4 cup of cocoa. And again, just for the record, right next door is Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I always use a Hershey cocoa. I found this dark chocolate, so I'm going to try the dark chocolate. Whoopie Pies. We also need half of a teaspoon of salt. Now, in the old days, they didn't have fancy measuring things, so that's how sometimes they ended up with extra. And so I still measure by my hand and use the old tablespoon and teaspoon that are metal. A lot of people that are professional cooks don't like that, but that's Pennsylvania Dutch. And we need 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda. We need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And 1 cup of milk. Now we have a couple of local dairies. One is Harrisburg Dairies and the other one is Swiss Premium. And so I always try and buy local milk and support our local farmers. I'm just going to use my hand mixer now that we have the butter all creamed together, and we're going to mix that together and blend it real nice. And just so you can see, it's coming along very nicely here. And I think we pretty much have it mixed together. Now, you're supposed to put a tablespoon of batter on, and for consistency, what I do is use my little melon baller, because that's about a tablespoon, and then I have a little help getting it out of the spooned in area. So that's what I use, and we'll see how it all works out. I'm going to spray my cookie sheet with Pam so that they come off easily. If you have parchment paper, you can use parchment paper too. Either one is good. Since school hasn't started, you might have a child who would like to lick off the whisk, or even during the pandemic, you might have children who are doing homeschooling, so to speak, and doing it through the computers. And remember, it's going to take 2 of these little cakes to make one whoopie pie when we're all said and done. Okay, let's take a look at these. All ready to go in the oven. Second batch ready to go in the oven. I place 1 cookie sheet on the top and 1 cookie sheet on the bottom. I'll let it in like that about 5 minutes, and then I'll just reverse them so that the heat is equal on both in cooking. And it's going to go 10 to 12 minutes. Now, if you touch the cake and it's bouncy and it springs back, they're done. Don't overcook them because you like them moist, but you don't want them that they're going to fall apart, so you do have to make sure they're done. And again, the shininess kind of goes away when the cookie is ready to come out of the oven. Let's just wait our 5 minutes, flip them around, finish cooking them, bring them out, and we'll be back to show you what we got. Okay, our cookies are baked. We're going to set these aside to cool, and while that's happening, we're going to make our peanut butter frosting. And we're going to start with 3/4 cup of 10x sugar. Some people call it confectioner's sugar. And we're going to put that into our mixing bowl. And I like to add a dash of salt. Just gives a little pop to the flavor. And we want 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. The next 2 ingredients are a stick of butter or margarine. I like Blue Bonnet. I've always used Blue Bonnet. My mom used Blue Bonnet. I think that's why. So I always look for that in the store. And 2/3 cup of smooth and creamy peanut butter. Okay, here is our peanut butter cream. I started by mixing it by hand just to get the dry ingredients coated, because if you don't, the powder splatters all over the place. I speak from experience. So now we have a nice, creamy, fluffy peanut butter cream filling for our whoopie pies. Got my cookie, gonna flip the round side down and have the flat side up. And you can use your spatula or a knife. And you want to put the cream in the center, just like so. And you take another one. And ta-da! You have a whoopie pie, the dark chocolate cookie with a creamy peanut butter filling. And let's give it a try. This is delicious. I hope you'll try them soon. Remember, Pennsylvania, I've got crumbs on my cheek. Pennsylvania Dutch Whoopie Pies are to die for. So good. Oh my goodness. You'll love them. The kids will love them, I promise you.